Yes, people, what is going on? What a game of football that was. West Ham 3, Leicester 2. And it almost was 3-3. It almost was another 3-goal lead dropped by West Ham. I know they've had one in more recent weeks against Wolves. It was close again, another 3-2. But Leicester just came up a little bit short. And if you don't know, I am a Chelsea fan. And that was 50-50 for us, I can't lie. It's not the most impactful thing that could have happened in terms of the top four race. That probably would have been a draw, more points dropped by both sides. But, I mean, West Ham come away with a win, and to be fair, did deserve it. I mean, they did hang on, and it was a little bit squeaky bum time at the end, but both of these squads have got injuries as well. And again, there was one or two more today. You don't quite know what they're going to look like going into the last couple of games of the season. West Ham, to be fair, actually got a semi-decent run in. You'd probably back them to get some sort of European football Champions League. I don't know. Again, these injuries will play a massive part. But Leicester could be in a bit of poo at the moment because, I mean, the way that they played was interesting in terms of, I mean, the approach from the outset, bearing in mind who they had, and also right at the end of the game, which I'll talk about in a moment. Mention it very quickly, is they needed a goal, or they needed a few goals, and they didn't bring on James Maddison. 50-50 about that one, but again, we can talk about that in a moment. I can't actually remember how the scoring went, I must be honest. I remember Jesse Lingard definitely got two, and I think it was Jarrett Bowen got the other one as well. Jesse Lingard is such an underrated player. He really, really is. And given even half a chance, which is what the first goal was, I'm sure it was the first goal. It was the one at the near post that he dug out. Given half a chance, he scores. I've just had a little bit of beef on Twitter with a Man United fan. Jesse Lingard scores big goals, and I'm not saying that he's going to go and be Man United's, best player ever and all this stuff or whatever, but I know West Ham are very keen on Jesse Lingard, and Man United are probably keen to let him go. Again, it could be mutual interest, it could be the best of both parties that he does move on. I know Man United are trying to use that kind of as a bargaining chip because they want Declan Rice, but either way, there is interest there from Man United to let Jesse Lingard go, and there is interest from West Ham to sign Jesse Lingard. And again, he pops up and scores big goals. He scored, I remember, a big goal in the FA Cup final 2015. He scored a goal for England as well, pops up at random times. That was in the World Cup, I'm sure. He's a good player to have around, and he gets vastly underrated. He's scored the same amount of goals as Bruno Fernandes this year from open play. Bear in mind, he's only played for the second half of the season, and Bruno's played all season long. It just kind of gives you a little bit of context. I'm not a massive lover of stats, I can't lie, but when you hear something like that, it puts it in perspective. So it's absolutely superb for me in terms of Jesse Lingard. Jack Mate's got to get a tattoo now. 8 goals since basically the end of January. It's superb. It's brilliant from him. The second goal, again, I can't remember what order it was. They all went in very quickly for West Ham. There was one just after half-time, I think, as well for West Ham. Jesse Lingard pops up again. He gets a second. And there was the one calamity one as well. Leicester at the back, they're just not the same unit they have been previously. Fofana is inexperienced. Yeah, that's probably the best way to say it. Johnny Evans is good, but not up there. Again, the age thing does cause a bit of a problem. But yeah, no, they just invited problems onto themselves, really. It was a really good run from, I think it was Lingard that made the run and Bowen that tapped it in. I can't remember which way around it is. Gone. A lot happened in this game, so I've forgotten. But either way, whoever made the run, I think it might be Bowen. I can't remember. Whoever it is. Anyway, it's a great run. Marginally onside, but again, onside. I completely agree with it. VAR has had a few shockers in the last few days, but that one I agree with. And it's just an empty net. But Schmeichel commits, doesn't really do anything. He was flat-footed for the first goal as well. Again, you cause your own problems. You cause your own mistakes. You can cause havoc as an attacking unit against a team like Leicester. And again, I mean, look, with a Chelsea fan here, I'm going to say we caused a lot of havoc to Palace yesterday. Can we do this more and more and more? And maybe this big game at the end of the season against Leicester that could potentially determine if we're top 4 or not, maybe that goes in our favour and we can all run around and be very, very happy. But, I mean, in terms of Leicester, they did come back. 2 goals from Iheanacho as well. Just hammered them both home. They're not particularly wonderful goals or special goals or whatever. He just hits them with power, puts it goalward. And they almost got a winner at the end. Again, Fofana involved. You'd like to have seen him hit the target at least, but is that going to be what costs Leicester? Because, I mean, I said it right at the start of the video. They did have James Maddison on the bench. He's not 100% fit, so I can understand him not starting. But when you are that much down the Swanee, you would think that you would bring on one of your better players who can create something out of nothing. Obviously, Jack Grealish is out injured at the moment. Big England fan here. So are we potentially going to see Foden and Mount, who I think are certainties to go anyway? Is it going to be between Jack Grealish and Maddison to be the third or fourth spot? Or are they both going to go? Because at the moment, both injured, really. You can't really say that either of them are guaranteed, as much as what I do like them both. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough about who you decide to go for. But a little bit of alarm bells ringing now against Leicester. West Ham actually winning means Chelsea go out of the top four, but also means that Leicester get dragged into a race which I don't think they thought they'd be a part of. Liverpool pick up points, Chelsea pick up points, Tottenham play Man United, big game. We'll be doing a reaction for that as well. That could make the title or the top four race look very, very different. I don't think it'll be drastic, but it could make it look very different. And there's a couple of big games coming up over the next few weeks. Chelsea versus West Ham, Chelsea versus Leicester. There's a few other teams that have got to play each other as well. It's going to be tough. It's a really, really tough race to call. West Ham have staked a massive claim. I think if they don't get European football at all, it will be an absolute travesty. And I'm going to say this, and maybe a few West Ham fans won't like it. I think West Ham are one of the only teams in the league that's actually benefited from fans not being there. It's a very 50-50 atmosphere when you go to the London Stadium, and to be fair, when you went to Upton Park as well. They all care about their team, fine. You know, I'm not going to discredit you for that. But there's a few problems between fans and owners and management and this and that and the other. And David Moyes, who's had a great season, I'm a really big fan of his. I really do like him. I thought he was very unfairly treated when he was at Man United. He's been given a chance to make a project. They've got a great squad and they're going to cause teams problems. Chelsea played them earlier on in the year and beat them 3-1 or 3-0 and it completely flattered us. They're a decent side and they've kept themselves in the round of running. And again, European football for West Ham would be absolutely superb. Even as another London fan, it would be very good for them to get it. But the fans, I think, have played a big part in it. And again, I can't tell West Ham fans how to think, but enjoy this because I generally do think that Moyes is a great manager and you've got a great squad. Are you going to keep it all? Again, Rice is one that you're looking and thinking, well, he's going to go, and you don't quite know how it's all going to look next season because, again, it's so unpredictable. Who's going to have money, who's not, who's going to have the good Euros, who's not. It's very unpredictable, but in terms of West Ham fans, if it was me, let it happen, let it go, enjoy and just support the team. And especially when you come back into the stadium as well, whenever it be, just deal with whatever crap it is, but support the team and back them, and they'll probably be a really good outfit. And I think, to be fair, again, as a London fan, I don't really want to say this, but I will. I think West Ham deserve a European run, not only for what they've done this season, but what they've done over the last few years as well. I know they not survived relegation, but they were poor last year, really. Back end of the season, they struggled, but regardless, they're a decent club. They've got a decent they've got a very decent fan base, got a very decent stadium. The club just screams European football. And I think if West Ham play their cards right, they're going to be in it for the next few years to come. May not be Champions League, but Europa League, this Conference League, I think West Ham are in it all day. But there we are. That's just my opinion. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're new around here, make sure you like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you back here later for the Man United, Tottenham Man United, whichever way around it is. I think Tottenham are home. Either way, I'll see you then for the video. Take care, stay safe. See you later.